Hey my sisters fans, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all tuned in to the season 5 premiere of Sisters last night, and we're gonna dive in and we're gonna do a quick little review for what happened for season 5 episode 1, Pain and Suffering. And we're gonna dive right into it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel and turn on that post notification bell so that you can be notified every time I post a video. Let's get into it. So, episode 1 started off basically where we left in season 4, where we see Andy and Fatima. They're sitting in the office, and Fatima is basically coming clean, telling Andy that, listen, Gary called you the B word, and she doesn't like when males call females the B word. Andy was like, hell no, I'm gonna show him what kind of B I can be. And she got up. She went to Hayden's office. As she walks in Aiden's office, it's Aiden calling her a bitch again. So she and Fatima enters, and Fatima wanted to do the whole thing because Fatima wanted to take out her earrings just in case anything happens and she needed to pop off. So they're there, and Hayden is doing all the talking, saying that Fatima is not allowed in his office. Fatima is asking Andy, please just let me shoot this man just once. Oh, Fatima, you can't shoot him. We don't want you to go to jail, girl. But Andy is trying to talk to Gary. Hayden is not having it. Andy is basically telling Gary that, so you want to hurt me? You're calling me a bitch. You're allowing Hayden to call me that. And you're now suing me. You're suing me for the penthouse. You're suing me for the car. Eventually, they were able to speak, just the both of them. Fatima had left, and then they asked Hayden to leave, and they had a conversation. And to be honest, like, this is the first time I'm seeing where they had a conversation, and I really felt the conversation. Like, they've had touching conversations before, but they never actually spoke to this depth. Like, Gary was crying. We've seen Gary emotional, but not to show this sense of emotion where he's like remorseful for what he's doing or what he has done. He's always said he's sorry, but it never showed on him like he was really sorry. I like that they were able to have this conversation, and they established that, listen, they love each other, but they're just not good for each other, and they're done. The relationship is over. That's what they talk about. And then we see in the trailer something else. Anyways, I'm not gonna get in the trailer yet, but I mean, they did have that conversation that, listen, it's just not gonna work, and they agreed to give him back his things as long as he refunded her the taxes that she paid on it. And I guess they're gonna part ways with that being said. But I mean, I don't really want to say anything about Gary, honestly, because I've rooted for him so many times, and he just keeps screwing up. Like, I've had so many videos I've made about Gary and how he's gonna come back and he's gonna win Andy back, but I don't know, Gary just keeps messing up. And then I've just stopped rooting for Gary completely. But honestly, they're toxic, but I love them together. I love them together because they bring out the best in each other, and they absolutely love each other. As Gary said, there's nobody else that drives him crazy the way Andy does, right? And I do think they really love each other. It's just that they have a funny way of showing it. They're just not good together, but good together, if you get what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to jump between scenes, but we actually saw this one before, the whole office scene. Karen, she's sitting in the hospital, and Pam is with her. So she's a bit nervous. Her stomach's in knot. We still haven't confirmed what is wrong with her yet, and Pam is trying to keep her on the positive side, reminding her to think positive. But she's kind of sad that her life is like just upside down. She's normally the person in control. She'd have it all figured out, but now it's like life is throwing her a curveball, and she has no idea what to do. So Pam is trying to speak positive to her, to remind her that, it's not gonna be bad news, it's gonna be good news, just think positive. Pam is actually saying that she actually looks up to Karen because Karen always has her stuff together. She's working, she's independent, she has it down, and it's true. Even though she can be sometimes, but she has her shit together most of the time. So So Pam is about to leave to wait on her outside because she wants to be alone. And she gets a call, and it's her mother. So she tells her mother that she's in the hospital. Her mother says that she's on her way. So I'm actually gonna dive right into the scene with her and her mother. So Miss Lisa shows up, and she comforts her daughter, and they begin talking. And she's reminding her that, listen, no matter what it is, I'm going to be here for you. Karen told her that she's pregnant, and she says congratulations. Now, for the first time, when Miss Lisa asks where the baby father is at, and she said that she's going to call Zach because she assumes that Zach is the father. But the first time in all of season 4, we finally see Karen admitting to somebody that, listen, she's not 100% sure that Zach is the father. She's always been so confident to say, oh, I know he is the father. I know he is the father, and it's not Aaron. But this time she was honest with her mother. She said that she's not up on 100% sure. It could be Zach, it could be Aaron, right? And also, she finally admitted that, listen, Zach has moved on with somebody else, and she's not too happy about that. She has not been saying this. She was just angry about it. But when it comes to her mother, she was willing to actually have a conversation with her mother about it and tell her mother how she really feels. So her mother basically reminded her that, listen, I went through the same thing with your father. I love that man, and he wasn't responsible, but after he left and found somebody else, he did everything I wanted him to do with me, right? So they basically are going through she went through what Karen is going through now. And she reinforced what Danny was saying to her, like, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. You take your time. You have time. Don't worry about what the next month is going to be like. Don't worry about what's going to happen when the baby is born. Just focus on yourself now. Focus on loving this child and just enjoy the moment. And that's basically what her mother reinforced, and that's the same thing Danny was saying to her. And I love that conversation. I'm glad to have Miss Lisa back, because one thing Miss Lisa is going to do, she's going to tell the truth, and she is going to definitely call you out on your shit. See, she did the same thing with Zach in season 2, I think, when she introduced him to her boyfriend, and they had a conversation, and she was telling Zach that, listen, Karen just wants you to be that kind of man to her and all of that good stuff. So it's not that Miss Lisa is unfair when she gives advice. She definitely gives great advice, and she's always going to tell the truth, and her advice is always 100% correct. She did it with Zach, and now she's doing it with Karen. I just hope that Karen listens to Miss Lisa's advice and just take it one day at a time and stop stressing. Just enjoy her pregnancy, and have a happy baby, have a safe baby, and just relax. Don't think about who the father is. When that time comes and you have to figure it out, you figure it out. But for now, you don't have to do crap. You just need to sit back and enjoy your pregnancy and not be sad and depressed so that it affects you and your child. So the next scene we're going to look at is Q and Calvin. So Q makes a call to Logan, and he's asking him what happened, and he's like, we got them. You just need to be a good witness. Get a job and be a good witness. So Q is the one that is going to testify against Sabrina and Maurice to have him locked up. So Calvin walks in, and Calvin is asking Q what he's doing here. He's basically telling that Maurice allowed him to stay. Calvin has been getting a call from the correctional facility. Calvin, just answer the damn phone to see who it is. What if it's your father? What if it's an emergency? Just answer the phone. Why are you ignoring the call if you don't know who it is? So Calvin hasn't answered the call, and obviously that Q either puts his phone on silent or something, and then bribes him with food. Like, I am so over this storyline. It's crazy, but I know Tyler Perry knows how to do his thing, and I'm having faith, because I can't wait for the day when they find out that Q is the one that sets it all up and he gets what's coming to him. Honestly, I mean, I was the one that did a video to say that Maurice is gonna give Q another chance, but honestly, this thing blindsided me. Like, I did not see this coming. Like, why would Q even Why would he even do that? Why not just turn on the actual crew that he did the robbery with, right? Turn on them to say they're the one that convinced me to do it or something. Don't throw the person who has been helping you under the bus to say that they're the one that did it. So as we know, Karen is in the hospital, and Aaron said that he's been calling her and he's not getting a response. So he shows up at the salon, looking for Karen. Karen is not there, and Pam is not giving him any information. So in walks Andy, and he wants to have a talk with Andy. He's asking Andy if he knows what's going on, and she explains to him yes. She wants to know if she still loves Zach. I mean, Aaron, bro, just let it go. Just let it go. Every time you and this lady talk, you have a conversation about giving her space, and then you pop up the next day. How is that giving her space? Like, she wants to be alone. She wants to figure it out, and you're being way too pushy. Give her space. I mean, you can still text her and check on her. You don't have to pop up. Text her, check on her, call her, check on her, send her flowers if you want to. But I mean, give this woman space, and just give her space to breathe, right? So then he and Andy was having the whole conversation, but Gary, he's trying to defend Gary and Gary's actions. But you know, Andy is over it based on the conversation they had this morning, or so we thought. So they ended the conversation, and Aaron leaves, and Andy is about to leave. Andy is trying to get some information from Pam to see where Karen is, because Karen is not returning anybody's call and she's at the hospital. But for once, Pam does not tell anybody. Like, Pam is really holding down Karen, and she's holding down the salon, and she doesn't tell Andy, and she doesn't tell Aaron where Karen is. She's actually just holding her mouth and not saying anything for the first time in 5 seasons. I know you guys must be listening and wondering, when is she going to talk about Fatima and Zach? Here we go. So the Fatima and Zach scene. Fatima is leaving work, and she and Andy's there having a conversation. You know, like, Fatima is telling Andy that she's excited to go home to her man, and she loves going home to him. And Andy is like, I want that. As they're talking, up walks Zach. So he's like, hey Andy, and he's like, hi, what are you doing here? Zach is like, I'm here to take Fatima on a little date. You know, they get all excited and all that stuff. So they're laughing, about to leave, and guess who they run into? Hayden. Yes, you thought right, Hayden. So they run into Hayden, and Hayden is like, what is this criminal doing at my workplace? Zach just throws his hands up and said, I'm leaving, bro. And they say, Fatima says bye girl to Andy, and Zach says it to Hayden. Zach was like, bye girl to Hayden. Hayden is secretly even figure out his words after that scene was funny as hell. You guys have to watch it. But I mean, they're in a good place. In Sistas, they're in a good place. And Zach takes Fatima to the Chainbreakers, what do you call it, a parking lot where they first met, where Fatima hit Zach off the bike for the first time, and they met, and you know, they peeked a little like from each other, and Zach was basically there just expressing himself, and listen, this is life, because what if you were a minute later or earlier, we would never have met each other. And that was really sweet of them. So Zach made Fatima promise that no matter what, no matter how bad things get, and even if they can't find their way back to each other, they'll always come there. That's their spot, and they'll be able to fix it from there. And she agreed. So he's there basically pouring his heart out, because I guess he's just showing his love. Fatima is making fun of him. Fatima's like, baby, have you been smoking? Zach is really trying his hardest to be romantic, but Fatima was like, you know, she's trying to goof it off. As they're about to leave, Zach is saying that he's gonna take Fatima, but Fatima is saying that she's hungry, and this could not possibly be the entire date. Zach's made a comment that says, you're always hungry, but we don't really see that. I'm wondering if they're hinting at something here to say that Fatima is always hungry. Like, is that a change in her demeanor since they've met? Like, obviously she's always hungry now, or is it a thing that was before? I'm gonna do another video about that to see what I think. I'm gonna wait on some more hints first before I even speak on that. Alright, so we have two scenes left to talk about, and that is where Sabrina is getting booked in jail, and the lady is saying that Sabrina is being difficult because Sabrina is asking all these questions. Sabrina needs to be strip searched, and Sabrina is like, what? We know Sabrina, she's not used to that life. She is in shock basically because she's saying she didn't do anything. She hasn't gotten to speak to a lawyer, so she's just all messed up, and they want to take out her hair and all that good stuff. We didn't get to see much of it, just her booking, where the lady's just really frustrated and say, you know what, she's being difficult, do it for her, and her hair is not real. I hope they don't cut Sabrina's braids out. I really do. The last thing we see is Danny at the airport. She's working and she's been trying to call Sabrina all day. She's not getting through. Then these two passengers walk up, a husband and a wife, or ex-husband and ex-wife, and they're arguing, and this girl is calling Danny the B word, and she's fed up with higher airlines and all of that stuff. So Danny just basically said, well, have you been drinking? You know, trying to let her know that, listen, I'm in control of this situation, and if you don't calm your ass down, you're not going to get to board this flight. So Danny did that. While Danny is still at the airport, we see Preston show up. We thought that Preston left in season 4, but he's back. He hasn't left yet. So Preston is expressing to Danny that, listen, I was dating this girl from like elementary school. We're good together back home, and I wanted to see what else the world had to offer because, I mean, they've been dating for so long. Then he met Danny, and he's been out here chasing Danny for months, and it's just not working. So he's telling Danny that he's going to propose to her unless Danny says, no, don't do it. Preston, I don't think you should have put that on Danny, because guess what? Danny is not going to tell you not to do it. She's going to say, go ahead and do whatever you want. Even if she is in love with you, I don't think she's ready to admit that yet. So I don't think that's the way you should have put that question. We're really hoping that Danny would say, okay, Preston, I really do like you, but I don't want to stop your happiness, right? I'm hoping she says something like that. I don't want her to be blunt, like, Preston, just go ahead and propose to this girl because we're not going to work out. I want her to actually tell her feelings, like, I like you, and I don't know if I'm in love with you, but I like you a lot, and I would really want to see where this goes. But we know how Danny is. She might not say that and then just leave Preston to his own decision and his own thoughts to figure it out on his own. So that's basically what happened in the first episode of season 5. If you guys haven't watched it yet, definitely go and check it out. It was good. We got a lot of emotions in this. We got a lot of breakdown, seeing different sides to these characters and their growth. Looks like we're going to see a lot of growth in season 5. And I'm really looking forward to see the different sides of these characters, because we haven't really seen much. We've just seen them going in the same cycle over and over again. So I'm excited to see what season 5 has to offer. Tell me in the comments, guys, if you have watched the episode, what you think. What are your thoughts on the episode itself? What are your thoughts on the new story? Well, not new stories, but how far the stories are going. And what are your predictions for this season? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like, share, leave a comment, and check out all the other videos on our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.